I am woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman? That's me, Maya Angelou. Welcome to this segment of the Afrocentrist Podcast, The Woman, Her Story, and Her Impact, where I get to speak to women from across the globe, sharing their stories and how they are impacting their world. Coming to you every Wednesday, 4 p.m. GST. Of course, with your favorite show host, the energetic EJ. So, make it a date with me every Wednesday. The Afrocentrist Podcast, proudly African. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Afrocentrist Podcast, and especially this segment, The Woman, Her Story, and Her Impact, where I get to speak to women from all walks of life to tell us about their stories and how they are currently impacting their world. And I do believe that so far you've met a lot of women from different walks of life, and I hope that you're going to enjoy today's episode as well. Today on the show, I have a woman all the way from the UK, but she has, some African heritage, but then she's currently impacting our world in reaching out to women. And so we're going to hear a little bit about that as well. Hey ladies, we are gradually entering that lovey-dovey month of the year, and we come bearing great news. As a way to show self-love before we receive more love from others, Women Talk Club presents Face the Facts and Crush Your Goals, a 5-step framework to living your best life. Guest speaker, Naushin Yakub. Special attraction, Henna Party by Zai from Singapore. It promises to be value-loaded and fun-filled. Don't attend alone. Come with your bestie. Date, Saturday, February 5th. Time, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. GST. Venue, Hilton Garden Inn, Al Basha. Fee, 100 dirhams if you pay before 4th of February and 120 dirhams if you pay at the venue. Come, let's love up on ourselves while we learn to face the facts. Women Talk Today UAE. It is the change we see and feel that makes us amazing. All right, welcome back, guys. Hi, Helen.
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really good. Thank
Awesome.
you.
So great to have you here.
I'm pleased. I'm so pleased because I know being on your show, I know it will make an impact on all women from all cultures all over the world. So I'm so humbled to be here. So
Thank you
for
so
the
much.
invitation.
Thank you so much. So now we're just going to dive right into it. Who is Helen Tucker?
Oh, wow. That's a big question.
I know.
Okay, so you mentioned in terms of women and coming from the UK. So let me just start there, because for me, I've always been involved and have a passion for women's development, because I've seen the transition from when you support women, you actually try and gauge where they want to be in their lives and how that can make a big impact in terms of themselves and their family. So for me, it's been a matter of how do I actually engage with women? How can I make a difference and an impact on women's lives? And this is where Women Talk came into being. And this was in 2013. Because in the UK, it's a different type of market in terms of supporting women. And there, a lot of women are long-term unemployed, maybe looking for a career change, want to start their business. So for Women Talk, it was all about having women talk about those issues, how difficult it was or it is to find a job, how challenging it is to start a business. And so for me, it was really looking at how we can just talk. As women, we like to talk.
Yeah.
So for me, it was really sharing their stories.
But what exactly happened to you that made you feel like, you know what, I really want women to talk? Because I feel like something should have happened that changed that story for you. You could have said, I want men to talk. But you said you want women. What happened?
I think basically based on my own personal experience of the challenges and the difficulties of starting a business, of changing my career, of raising a family, because we are silent warriors.
Absolutely.
We juggle so much, but then sometimes we think we're alone. And I felt, actually, am I doing this by myself? There must be other women going through the same thing. Yes. So it was really sharing my story, and I remember just sharing my story in terms of starting a business, running a family, going through divorce, and somebody asked me, how do you manage all of that?
Absolutely. How did you do it?
Yes. And I think for me it was like, well, I enjoy what I do. And they said, well, you should share your story. And I thought, well, if I'm sharing my story, why don't we have other women share their story?
As well.
And this is where I thought, okay, Women Talk is all about sharing our stories. And we started off, I say we, because we grew into an organization. Yes, and a community of women that supported other women. And what we did was to capture their stories. So we started off with chapbooks. And this was capturing the stories of women who've gone through so many challenges and how they've overcome those challenges. And because their story was written down, it was for them to think about, actually, what did I go through? Because sometimes we forget.
Absolutely.
What we've gone through.
I agree.
Yes. And then that gives us the confidence to say, well, if I've gone through that challenge.
I mean, now there's another challenge, but I'm going to go through it. I'm going to get out of this one. Absolutely. Yes. And that's the power of sharing stories.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is.
Because that's one reason why I also do what I do.
Yeah.
I believe in the power of sharing our stories. Like you said, we often forget.
Yeah.
And we just forget that you've been here before. Maybe not exactly the way it was before, but you've gone through a super hard time where you thought this is the end.
Yeah.
This is it. But somehow you scaled. You came out of it, right? And then you forget instantly, like, oh, you've forgotten that you've gone through this, and then another thing happens and you're like, oh my God, this is the end. Yeah. But when we learn to share, when we learn to document, whether written or recorded or something, it helps us remember. Sometimes I would literally go back to watch some of my shows. Or somewhere, maybe I've spoken somewhere before, and I'm like, wow, are you serious?
Yeah.
And that's one thing I love about Facebook, when they bring back your memories, like, oh, what you shared 5 years ago.
Exactly.
I go through some of my posting and I'm like, wait, what? I've been deep all along. So when those voices come to say that you are not good enough, you don't know what you're doing, but when you look back, really, you begin to see some level of consistency.
Yes. And that level of consistency, there's a pattern, and that pattern then builds up your confidence and your motivation, and think, okay, so when you hit another challenge, you're not in that challenge for long, because actually I got out of that challenge last time, I'm not going to stay in here that long.
Absolutely.
And I come out, and as you said, you're stronger, your character is rebuilt.
Better, absolutely, absolutely. So what is one experience that you had on this journey of, helping other women talk and everything that has really, let's say, shaken you, or like really gotten to your heart, that like every time you remember that incident or that one story or that one person, it just keeps you going like, okay, you know what, I'm doing something right.
In terms of like listening to another woman's story?
Or both yours, or like what's one thing that has happened to you that has just stood like an anchor that helps you, that keeps you going?
I think I would relate it to my own personal health issues, because we take our health for granted, and we put into this body a lot of things that we're not supposed to put in. So, but then when your health suffers and you realize, actually, this is not good. And for me, with going through, having been diagnosed with lymphoma, and then going through the treatment, and then going through coming out the other side, I think it made me realize life is not only short, but tomorrow is not promised.
Absolutely.
So I was looking at, what can I do to really share my story, make an impact. Yes, and make it count. Exactly. So I think that was the defining moment for me, is breathing and being still and being present in the moment. Because going through that, it could be health issues, it could be relationship breakdown, it could be
financial breakdown, emotional,
all of these challenges that as women we go through but we don't share. And that could be the defining moment to think about, why am I here? What is my purpose? What is my passion? And what I found, and what we found as Women Talk, is that as women we do lose our our purpose, or we become lost. And we lose ourselves because we're living somebody else's dream, we're living somebody else's passion. And we think, oh my gosh, I've lost myself. So for me, it was the health issue. For other women, the stories have really given me that impetus to even push further what we offer to women, because I've listened to their stories, and it's been like, wow. Absolutely. It's been amazing, and that's why capturing it in a chapbook helps other women to get
to relate with it, and to just kind of get hope that, you know what, this person has gone through it, I can also go through it.
Yes.
What would you say is one thing that really makes women lose that purpose so much, and how do you think they can begin to deal with that?
I think when they start not believing in what they have, and what the potential is. And maybe, I think you touched on it before, maybe somebody else has said, well, actually you can't do that, and that they start believing other people. There's a quote by Spike Lee, and he says, don't allow anybody to dicker with your vision. Don't, because when you have someone else distort your vision, then you lose why you're here. So it's keeping focus, it's keeping your dream alive. And I think another part is, it could be related to sort of family, because we become we're nurturers. So we lose ourselves in our family. Yes. Oh, let's look after this, my family. Let's look after auntie. Let's look after sister. And so we shrink, and we become so small that we forget who we are. And what I always try and remind women is, you have a voice.
Absolutely.
You are visible. So Women Talk is all about women sharing their voice and being visible, and knowing that they have talent which hasn't been tapped into, but they can actually sort of see, actually, maybe I used to enjoy that. Sometimes we lose what we enjoy, and then it's just going back, actually, I used to really enjoy talking to people. Now I'm feeling a bit scared.
Maybe because somebody just kind of, something just happens that just takes that confidence away.
Exactly. It could be somebody make a comment, well, you talk too much.
Let me tone down, and that's it. You lose yourself. And that happened to me a lot, a lot of people like, oh, you're too much. And so I would like to fit in, and so I would like, okay, tone it down. But then, 2020, I met myself again. I'm like, hey, this is my energy. That is why energetic EJ is here to stay. Like, my energy is my superpower. So if you can't handle it, that's okay. It means our path is not meant to cross. So, and that's fine. I'm okay with that, right? But the moment I came to terms with that, it just helped me flow in my power, right? I'm speaking to people, and in the first 30 seconds, 1 minute, people are like, I love your energy. I'm like, yeah, you better love it, because that's my superpower. Exactly. So women, please don't lose yourself. And even if you do, just remember that you're never alone. And there are always communities. And what would you say for you is the power of community? Because personally, I believe so. Sincerely, I don't even know how I would have survived in the whole of 2020 till now without the communities that I belong to, because I've not been with my family for so long. The communities I am in is what has kept me going, right? So what would you say is that power of community?
Wow. And as you said, the word power is so significant, because a community is like the glue. It glues people together. Because we've had women come through. We have a WhatsApp group. We have our monthly meetup. We do retreats. So the connection is there, and that's what we do. We connect women with other women. Women will share just a motivational quote, or they may be going through an issue and they'll post something on WhatsApp, and somebody will say, actually,
I can help you.
Yes, I can help you, or this is what I found would help. And as you said, through it's like 2 years now going through this pandemic, and as you said, not seeing family or friends. This is where Women Talk has planted some roots, and that's what we're about, because I'm a strong believer in when you plant roots, it will grow. It's like a tree, it spreads out.
Absolutely.
And the tree gets stronger and stronger because we've got that web,
solid
yes,
foundation
of
Absolutely.
women coming and sharing.
Absolutely.
So the community is so important.
Absolutely. And I know that you recently launched Women Talk Club. Yay! Tell us about that. And if anybody watching this wants to be a part of it, what should they do?
It's the next step. The next step for us to really provide a lot of services, because, as you said, women can be isolated, they can be lonely, they want to make friends, social. So apart from running the Women Talk monthly meetups and the retreats, the club will be how can I put it? Be a safe environment for women to come, yes, and to have access to webinars, to speakers, have fun. We'll have movie nights, game nights. It's just really a social environment and an opportunity for women to actually share their expertise and being in an environment where there's other women they can connect with.
And that can support you as well.
Support, they can learn and connect.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you heard it. Women Talk Club is here for you, and this is open to anybody. We have members from Kenya, Nigeria, UK, Jamaica, US, even Portugal, I think.
Yes.
We had somebody from Portugal.
Yes.
So it's a whole community of international women. So it's a global community, basically. And so you are invited to be a part of it. Yes, you hear me say we, because I'm a part of Women Talk. Yes, so thank you so much, Helen, for being here. What would your last word be for any woman listening to this right now?
Well, I have my mission statement. You know, you have organizations that have their mission statement and they have it written down. I have my mission statement. I've had this for like 15 years, and it's learning to believe in yourself gives inner strength to achieve the impossible.
Believe in yourself. And once that is settled, you can achieve anything. Anything at all. Nothing is impossible to he or she who believes. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Till I come your way again with another woman from another part of the world and another work of life, sharing their story and how they are impacting their world. It is I, the energetic EJ, saying have a beautiful week. Of course, I'm going to leave the links to Women Talk, to Helen's Instagram handle, and to the Women Talk page, and how you can be a part of the Women Club, okay? Women Talk Club, all right? So watch out for that in the description of this video and also of the audio. Remember to subscribe to our channel. And please subscribe to all the podcast channels where you listen to your podcasts from. And if you do know anyone who should also feature on this show, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you so much one more time, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey ladies, we are gradually entering that lovey-dovey month of the year, and we come bearing great news. As a way to show self-love before we receive more love from others, Women Talk Club presents Face the Facts and Crush Your Goals, a 5-step framework to living your best life. Guest speaker, Naushin Yakub. Special attraction, Henna Party by Zai from Singapore. It promises to be value-loaded and fun-filled. Don't attend alone. Come with your bestie. Date, Saturday, February 5th. Time, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. GST. Venue, Hilton Garden Inn, Al Basha. Fee, 100 dirhams if you pay before 4th of February and 120 dirhams if you pay at the venue. Come, let's love up on ourselves while we learn to face the facts. Women Talk Today UAE. It is the change we see and feel that makes us amazing.